In this presentation, we'll be looking at constructing good instrument for evaluation and also how to develop instrument for evaluation. So the first step to consider is so we need to find what exactly we need to evaluate in our program. The choices generally involves dimensions of knowledge, behavior, and symptoms, and the attitude, beliefs, and opinions of our clients or respondents. The easiest data collection instrument is to have single focus. Sometimes we may have lot of dimensions to evaluate, but it is good to have narrow focus of for our evaluation purpose. The second step is also very important, where we determine how to administer the data collection instrument. The questionnaires can be self-administered or respondent can be interviewed or observed. The telephone survey or electronic surveys or email questionnaire are also option. The third step is to create a pool of items for potential use. The length should also serve the purpose and psychometrics. To determine a response set, like is it close-ended with a list of options or 5-point Likert scale. The multiple response choices help reduce measurement error, bias, and make it easier to analyze data. It is good to include one or two open-ended questions to possibly learn things not known or suspected. So many times our close-ended questions where we have limited options for answering, those may not capture the all the answers, so the open-ended questions are extremely important. The fourth step is to redefine the data collection instrument. Consider question sequencing, difficulty, personal information, memory, length, and periods, and cultural sensitivity. And there are certain common errors we make in developing questionnaire. There may be wrong, misspelled, or omitted words or incorrect grammar. There may be unbalanced response choices. So it may be balance. It should be balance positive and negative responses, and to avoid bias in one direction or another. There may be vague terms, so we need to avoid undefined words like often or regular. Sometimes the questions that have choices that are not mutually exclusive. Example, how long have you been a client with us? 6 months or less, under a year, or 1 year or longer. So there are these answers are not exclusive, unique. So there is some overlap. So we need to be mindful of options which we give to answer the question. So it should be distinct and unique, and they should not be overlap. The list of poorly constructed questions that should also be looked into while designing the questionnaire. Sometimes the double barrel question, we should not ask two things in one sentence. Asking for information that the respondent cannot be reasonably expected to have. Asking leading questions, asking stigmatized terms, and also our question should be culturally sensitive. Uh, and we need to address uh, the issues may be facing by different diverse and ethnically uh, ethnic communities who are uh, who may not be represented in the questionnaire, and that may cause error in designing the questionnaire. As we move forward, so as we have seen, there may be existing questionnaire or instruments, or if existing questionnaires are not there, we design our own questionnaire. But there are existing questionnaire or measures that we can use. And what criteria we should have to select our evaluation instruments. The first foremost is utility. Is Is it easy to administer or score and interpret? Will it provide useful information? Are there norms or studies providing comparison data? What is the suitability and accessibility of those instrument questions? Will it work with your population in terms of vocabulary, reading level, and sophistication? Is it age appropriate? Is it appropriate for clients' emotional state? Will clients feel the items are relevant to their problems? So, the another checklist is the sensitivity. Will the instrument be able to detect improvement, including a small amount of progress as a result of treatment? Will it be sensitive to diverse ethnic and cultural differences? Will the client view it as important? Uh, uh, will the client view it as too praying or intrusive? The directness, is the instrument able to capture objectively the client's behavior, emotional state, attitudes, and knowledge? Non-reactivity, is the instrument relatively innocuous? That means won't create negative emotions. Will the instrument itself cause behavioral change? So, and the appropriateness of the instrument need to be checked. Then also the expenses, how much it will cost to buy the instrument. Do we have enough budget? We also need to check the instrument for its reliability and validity. Many times the instruments itself is tested, and that's how those scales or instruments are made. However, when you are applying those same instrument or scales or surveys for your own population and situation, we need to check for reliability and validity answering some of these questions. The cultural sensitivity is extremely important. There are great strides in the recent years to ensure interventions based on understanding and appreciation of ways various diverse groups might respond. There is this multicultural sensitivity, mental health skills example, that allows cultural experiences of African American to be taken into accounts when evaluating psychological stress. Uh, and successful attempts have been made to translate and adapt instruments for cultures for which English is not first language. Several resources may be consulted for concerns about cultural appropriateness. So it is very important to use these terms and also be culturally aware. Sometimes we use the term cultural humility, where even if you are not aware about the culture about which you are interested, we need to spend a lot of time in understanding those culture, so that we are doing justice to those important research. How we can find appropriate evaluation instruments, that it may be available in Measure for clinical practice and research book. It has a lot of skills and descriptive information about 500 rapid assessment instrument. The handbook of psychiatrist Measure is also good resource. Outcome assessment in clinical practice also has good instruments. There are other places you can find the instruments like Valmer Publishing Company, or test reviews online, or do literature review from Google search, or ask faculty members. These are some of the scales like clinical anxiety scale, or evaluations self-efficacy scale, or community attitude towards sex offender scales, or intimate violence responsibility scales, or school support scales. And we can also find a lot of other scales or instruments in the library resources. I'll provide additional Word documents with all the scales and instrument database from the library resources. So go through some of them and try to find the instrument or skills of your interest, so that you can use it in future practice settings. So we have seen in this today's presentation how we can uh, uh, think about what are the important aspects when we we design a measurement scale, and also if we are thinking about using existing scales, what parameters we need to be mindful of. So thank you so much.